Good evening, everyone. This is Monday, November 6, 2023. I would like to call to order the Claims Committee meetings. Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Present.
Councilman Paplaskas, Councilman Ferry,
Present.
Councilman Wall,
Here.
Councilman Donegan, Councilman Campiano,
Here.
Council Vice President Vargas.
At this time, I would like to have a motion to approve the minutes of October 2nd, 2023 meeting.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano.
I would like we open the floor to the public comments. If there is anyone, as we don't see anyone in the chamber. Is there anyone online for public comments?
There is no public comment.
So no public comments, so we close public comments. And at this time, I would like to have a motion to go into executive session, based on the pursuant the whole Rhode Island General Law 42-46-502 pertaining to prospective and actual litigation matters as listed on the agenda.
So moved.
Do we have a motion? Second, Madam Clerk, please take a roll.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas, to go into executive session. Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going into executive session at this time. All right. At this time, I would like to have a motion to return to open session.
So moved. Second.
Madam Clerk, please take a roll. Sorry.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes, at the executive session, we did take vote, and I would like to have a motion to seal the minute of the executive session.
So moved. Second.
Madam Clerk, please take a roll.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano.
Yes.
At this time, we have a motion to seal the minutes.
So moved. Second.
Any in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? And at this time, we'd like to have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Any in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so the meeting is adjourned for now.
The Safety Services and Licenses Committee will start in 5 minutes at 6 o'clock. Ready? Good evening, everyone. It's Monday, November 6th. Welcome to the Safety Services and Licenses Committee meeting. Madam Clerk, could you please take a roll?
Councilman Ferry,
Present.
Council Vice President Vargas,
Present.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Present.
Councilman Wall,
Here.
Councilman Donegan, Councilman Campiano,
Present.
Councilman Paplaskas, Council President Marino.
Present.
I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk, please take a roll.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas.
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Before we get started, I'd like to point out a Scribner's error on the fourth page, at the very top where it says class. Should be just a B there. Next to liquor license renewals, it should just be a B. Okay. At this time, I'd like to ask if there's anyone in chambers or on Zoom that would like to testify to any item that's on the docket tonight for public comment. If so, please step forward. There's no one in chambers. Anyone on Zoom?
There is no public comment.
All right, so at this time, I'd like to close public comment. Next item is that I'd like to have a motion to continue any business related to the Spot Bar and Grill to December's meeting.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes?
Council Vice President Vargas,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to have a motion to take the agenda out of order.
So
Move.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes?
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to jump to item number 7, new matters before the committee. The victualling license for Herbal Dolce Salud Energia. Is anybody here from that establishment? Please step forward. The applicant has their baby with them tonight, so I took the agenda out of order so we could send them home early.
Understood.
Put the microphone right in front of you and press the button that's on there and see if the green light goes on. It's on. It's on? Okay, great. All right, just a point of information here. On the agenda, it says that there was a Rhode Island Department of Health final inspection. I'm sorry. There was a said that it owed the city taxes, but that has been verified that those taxes are paid. Okay, so if you want to just tell us a little bit about your business very quickly.
Yes, hi, this is business gonna be under my wife's name. She decided to open like an Herbalife office, like to make like protein shakes, like there is no food. She gonna order the products and just put them in the blender and that's it.
And what would your hours of operation be and what days would you be open?
It's gonna be like 7 days a week and like 5:30 in the morning until 8:30 at night.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve?
And to approve.
Second.
Okay, now if there any discussion or questions for the applicant from the committee? All set? Okay, Madam Clerk, please take a vote on the
Just
victualling.
have him state his name and address for the record.
I'm sorry, you need to state your name and address for the record. I forgot to ask you that.
Yes, like I said, it's my wife's name, so my wife is behind me. Her name is Elena de la Cruz Panjo. It's the Herbalife Dulce Energia Salud. It's 341 Webster Avenue, Cranston, Rhode Island.
Thank you. All right, Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas. Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Good luck
Thank
with your
you.
business. You're all set.
All right, so they're gonna email us?
You'll hear from the clerk's office. You will contact him or he needs to contact you. They will contact you.
Okay, so all set.
Thank you very much.
Okay, when we open, like, that's the question I have, when we be able to open?
You can call our office tomorrow and
Okay,
you can come in and get the license if you'd like,
oh, okay.
or we can
thank
mail
you.
it to you.
Okay, thanks everyone, so thank you very much for your.
Have a good night. All right. Next item on the agenda is Kaden Thai Cuisine. Is anyone here from that establishment? Please step forward, state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is K. Bang Sena, 800 Park Ave, Cranston, Rhode Island, 02910.
Okay, if you could just tell us a little bit about your business, what days you're gonna be open and the hours, that type of thing?
It's Thai cuisine, so we provide food, serve Thai dishes over everywhere around the cities. Operation hour is 6 days a week, so Monday to Friday. Monday start by 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Tuesday to Fridays, 11 to 9, and Saturday, 12 to 9. So Sunday we close.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I bought over Thai objects over the Park app. So the business has been operated for 23 years.
Oh, you own another business?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. All right, may I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion. Move.
Second, anybody? Second. All right, any discussion or questions for the applicant from the committee? Council Vice President.
Thank you. That was my question, so thanks for answering it in terms of whether or not you were taking over after the other business that was there for quite some time. So,
Yes.
any time that there's someone else that takes over a business instead of seeing a empty storefront, I, appreciate that. I purchased food from there a lot of times, eaten there a lot of time, and one of the phrases that the woman always says is, "Okay, honey," all the
Yeah.
time, every time you call.
Yes.
So
That's a lot of
that's
customers
how
say
everybody
it's,
knows her on the
where's
community.
where's the previous owners? She retires, but you're gonna have the younger honey.
I appreciate it. Well,
She's always call people honey.
Yeah.
So,
if this passes, welcome to Cranston.
thank you very much. Thank you all.
Okay, take a vote. Please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas.
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Okay, you're all set.
Thank you
Good
very
luck.
much and have a
Good luck
night.
to
Thank
you. Okay, now we'll go back in order. The next item on here. Cafeology, may I please have a motion to continue that?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote on continuing that.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes?
Council Vice President Vargas.
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay, Spot Bar and Grill is all set. Is there anyone here from Shake Shack tonight? May I please have a motion to continue that?
Motion to continue.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes?
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
I have a question for the clerk. When do we reach a point where we just take it off of here? Is it up to me?
Well, if the motion is to continue, then that means we continue it to the next month. As far as these licenses, these two particular licenses that we just continued are establishments which one of them's not even, they both were under extensive renovations. So what I've decided is in the future, when we have a business who is going to go under substantial renovation, we're going to ask them an anticipated date of opening. and we will not accept the application that far in advance. We will require them to wait until maybe 90 or so days before they think they're going to be ready to open so that we avoid this continuing every month situation in the future.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, next, we have an auto repair license, new for Vashon Motor Company. Is there anyone here from that establishment? Please state your name and address for the record.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. For the record, Robert Murray, 21 Garden City Drive in Cranston. I'm here tonight with Lance Vashon of Vashon Motor Company, Inc. Mr. Vashon lives in Barrington, and he owns several dealerships in both Massachusetts and Connecticut. The location is 615 Reservoir Avenue, which right now is known as the J.D. Byrider site at the end of High School Avenue. He will be taking over that location, and we're here tonight seeking a used car license application and an auto repair license. We will be, once we have secured those, we will be submitting to the state of Rhode Island, the Dealers Commission, and we have that paperwork ready, just subject to your actions tonight. I have been in consultation with Councilman Donegan, who I know is not here tonight. He's received no calls on this. Notices did go out to neighbors. Mr. Vashon will be operating at this location Monday through Thursday, as stated on the application, from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., Friday 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday 9 a.m. To 5 p.m. Will not be open on Sunday. So these two licenses are integral to the state license that we will be hopefully obtaining shortly.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. Okay, at this time, is there any discussion or questions for the applicant? I have a question. So you're pretty much going to be doing the same exact thing that was going on there?
Yes, Lance Vashon, Vashon Motor Company. Not quite. They have a franchise there, J.D. Byrider. This will just be a normal used car store. It won't be the franchise. I do have 2 other franchises just like it, but in this one I'm not going to do that.
Appearance will be the same, basically?
I'm going to paint it, and take down the signage, put up new signage. Inside renovate a little bit, but do a little parking lot over. stuff like that.
Okay. Any other discussion? Council Vice President Vargas?
Sir, good evening. Just curious, it's a repair shop that you're pretty much gonna have, or
It's a used car store
but a
that
used car?
also does repairs, yes.
Are you towing vehicles?
No.
Okay, thank you.
It's very similar to the license of J.D. Byrider franchise. More for their work on their own.
Okay, so to make it clear, we're voting first on the auto repair license. Okay, so,
Councilman Ferry,
yes,
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Council Campiano,
yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay, at this time, can I have a motion to approve the used car license?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes?
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Good luck.
Very much.
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate it.
Next, we have, like 3 pages worth of business that we're gonna put all together. I'll make Councilman Campopiano said to me, I didn't realize we had this many places to go eat and drink in Cranston. I thought it was kind of funny when you said it. Okay, so, I'd like to have a motion to take all the, liquor licenses as a block, which would take us all the way through, up to the Roman numeral 7.
So moved.
And do I have a second?
Second?
Any discussion on taking this as a block? Okay, Madam Clerk, please take a vote on the block. I'm on accepting this as a block.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas, Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay, so next I need a
Mr.
motion
Chairman,
to.
if I may.
Oh, I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Mr. Chairman, are we taking the Class A liquor license renewals as a block, or are you doing all of the renewals as a block?
I said all the renewals up to the Roman numeral 7 on the fourth sheet.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, I'd ask you to take them by class, by block.
Okay. So now I need to have, motion withdrawn. No, we already voted to take the block. So what do we do
Just
now?
take another motion.
Motion to take them as the class.
Do I have a second?
Just to be clear, we're gonna make a motion to take the Class A liquor license renewals as a block.
Motion to take the Class A liquor license as a block.
Second. Renewals. I will second it again.
Councilman Paplaskas.
Thank you. I was just checking like Class A liquor license renewals. I just walked in and I realized that Tommy's Pizza 2 is on here and I will recuse from this vote for these renewals just because I'm an employee there,
Okay,
delivering pizza.
sounds good. I thought I had this down and ready to go, honestly. I was just like on a vote and we're gonna just do it. Okay, so now we're voting on, we're having a discussion on A.
Tommy's doesn't appear under A. They're under BV. They're not a Class A establishment. So you don't need to recuse for the Class A.
So do I have a motion to approve Block A?
So moved.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote on Block A, Class A liquor license renewal.
Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano.
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay. As we turn the page, we are now looking at block of B liquor license renewals. There was a Scribner's error there, so that's just a B, okay? And do I have a motion to take all the Class B liquor licenses as a block?
I've got clarification. There's BVL and there's a BT. So I think according to Attorney Angel, we'll take them each separately so that there's no confusion.
There was a Scribner's error
Okay.
on that page. Have, Tracy explain this.
So where it says Class BVL liquor license, that is actually BVs and BVL, which both fall under Class B. But then Class BT also falls under Class B. They're just different types of Class B liquor licenses. So I think typically you would have the BV and the BVL separated out. The difference between those two is one is a full liquor and BVL is limited to beer and wine only.
So I need a motion to what now?
I would say to accept all the BV and BVL, and then you can do the BT separate if that's what Solicitor Attorney Angel suggests.
Okay, so do I have a motion to take all the BV and BVLs?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano.
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Recuse.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the block?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Council Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Recuse.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay. Next, may I have a motion to take class B, T, C, and D as a block?
No, no blocks.
I
Gotta
would
do 'em all
defer
separate?
to Attorney Angel. He was the one that requested separate classes.
Yeah, I would suggest you.
There's a motion for
class
each
three
class.
separately. We've already started on this road, so. Out of
Okay.
deference to Attorney Angel, do them separately.
May I have a motion to approve class B, T? Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
May I have a motion to approve class C liquor license Village Sounds?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
I have a motion to approve class D liquor licenses as a block.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
May I have a motion to approve the block?
So moved.
Can,
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay. We have no business from the traffic engineer, no show cause. Nothing from the police department, anything from the fire department? Okay, next. We have license renewals, I planned on taking this as a block, the rest of it.
Actually, Mr. Chairman, that would be okay with the 19-hour, but I think you should do the rest separately because they are different types of licenses. So you want to do the 19-hour liquor license renewal, those two as a block. But then after that, one at a time.
Like 100 of them.
No.
No.
No, not until you get the public. Not until you get the public entertainment renewals. It's only, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's only 6 categories.
Okay. So we have two 19-hour right here, Rhode Island Aviation and St. Mary's School. Okay, do I have a motion to take those two as a block?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
President Vargas,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Motion to approve the block.
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay, next we have a Bazaar license renewal for the Armenian Evangelical Church located at 180 Oak Lawn Avenue. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second,
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilwoman Jermaine,
yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas.
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
We have a motion to approve the billiards table license at Legion Pub.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
May I have a motion to approve the bowling alley license for Legion Pub?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
Seeing there's no discussion, Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
May I have a motion to approve the extended hours license renewal for Edge Fitness?
So moved.
Second.
Seeing there's no discussion, Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Council Paplaskas.
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
May I have a motion to approve the game room license renewal for Legion Pub?
Move.
Second.
Seeing there's no discussion, Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilwoman Jermaine.
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay, next we have public entertainment renewals. And they would go from Amadeo all the way to Village Sounds. I'd like to have a motion to take that as a block.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas.
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
May I have a motion to approve the block?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not gonna try and include the next two together. We've got septic hauler license, and then we have victualling licenses right under it. So I'm not gonna group those together. May I have a motion to approve the septic hauler license renewals?
So moved.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas.
Yes.
Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay, next we have like 3 pages of victualling license. Never say that word right. Do I have a motion to take all the victualling licenses as a block?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Uh-oh. I'm in trouble.
Chairman, I'm going to recuse from votes on the victualling license due to my employment at Tommy's.
I thought I did something wrong. See the lawyer get up, you know? All right. So do we vote on it as a block yet? All right. Any discussion on voting on it as a block? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas. Yes. Councilwoman Jermaine.
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the block?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas. Councilwoman Jermaine,
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay, now we are on item 13. Roman numeral 13, monthly schedules. May I have a motion to enter these into the record?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please take a vote on entering these into the record.
Councilman Ferry,
Yes.
Council Vice President Vargas, Councilwoman Jermaine.
Yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Council President Marino.
Yes.
Okay, next we have licenses issued administratively. Mobile food establishment licenses new, there aren't any. And then we have one for mobile food establishment licenses renewal, Chicked Out Negres. That's just for the record. No council communications. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Right. Good evening. Welcome to the Finance Committee agenda. Committee meeting. It is Monday, November 6th. To the clerk, can I please have a roll?
Council Vice President Vargas,
Present.
Councilman Ferry,
Present.
Councilman Wall,
Here.
Councilwoman Jermaine, Councilman Campiano,
Present.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Present.
Council President Reno.
Yeah, present.
Next item up is the approval of the minutes. The clerk, can you please take a roll call?
We need a motion.
Sorry, I need a
Motion.
motion. I
Motion
apologize.
to approve the,
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. To the clerk, please take a roll call.
Council Vice President Vargas.
Yes.
Councilman Ferry,
yes.
Councilman Wall,
Yes.
Councilman Campiano,
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas,
Yes.
Council President Reno.
Yes.
Next item is committee business matters carried over. Councilmember Ferry,
Yes,
believe you
the, ordinance 22307, we'd like to have this removed from the docket.
thank you. If, in order to remove an item from the docket, I don't believe there is a vote, correct? So I just want to
What-
confirm that.
So if I may, Madam Chair.
Sure.
This, I would assume, is at the request of the developer. Have they put something on the record indicating that they want it withdrawn?
I had a discussion with the applicant for that property today, and he asked me to withdraw the ordinance.
That's sufficient.
Thank you. All right, note that item 2-2307 has been withdrawn. On to the next item.
If I may, just housekeeping, I do believe Order de Mayo is on by phone, by Zoom. I just wanted to let you know, Council Vice President Vargas, 'cause I know it's hard to see the screen.
Thank you. Is, Auditor, are you online with us today? That's fine. Thank you. Item, it is 9-23-04. Ordinance allocating $600,000 from the American Rescue Plan Act funds for the purpose of upgrading City of Cranston playgrounds in all 6 wards. This is sponsored by Mayor Hopkins. This was continued from the October 2nd, 2023 meeting. Is there anyone here from the administration that would like to let us know what they would like to do with this ordinance that's before us this evening?
As Councilwoman knows, we're making good progress working with the real issue that originated this was the Edgewood Highlands Playground. We're making very good progress working with the folks at Edgewood Highlands and with the Councilwoman. With the cooler months coming on, that'd be fine if you wanted to continue continue this to next month when we have more details about the specifics of the cost of that playground, and we could do further assessments of other playgrounds, time permitting. So would request to continue to next month, please. Ma'am, my name is Anthony Moretti. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Director. I see no problem moving this forward and continuing it to the December meeting. Before we do so, Council President?
Yep. Just a little bit of housekeeping with respect to this matter. I was speaking to a solicitor and to our city council lawyer, Attorney Angel, who was on Zoom. And the form of this needs to be corrected. It's actually not an ordinance. It would need to be a resolution. So I don't know if the administration wants to take another look at that and clean that up, and whether I defer to the solicitors, whether or not you have to resubmit it, we can just continue it. Thanks.
Great. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is a resolution relative to the playgrounds upgrade and maintenance. This is sponsored by Council Vice President Vargas, and this was also continued from the October 2nd onto this month's meeting. I am going to actually continue this to the next Finance Committee meeting. It is in December. Is Mr. Tizaglia with us today? Is he on the phone? If not, that's fine. Okay, all right, that's fine. We'll continue this to the next Finance Committee meeting. I'm following, just for those that are here this evening, PTA, the mayor, and myself and a few of us have been in touch regarding the playground upgrade and just the maintenance and stuff over at the Edgewood Playground, as well as Mystery. And so we met with the mayor at his office not too long ago, and we're hoping to move forward and get a lot of things accomplished, particularly with this playground. That seems to be the only playground that is currently closed that's right next to a school facility. So to the clerk, if we can continue this for next finance, that would be great. Thank you. Next item is Councilman Donegan. There's no votes to be taken. It's the expiration of liability policy for the city. This was continued from August 7th and October 2nd. Is there anyone here this evening that can provide? Councilman Donegan is obviously not here with us, but I'm sure he'll be watching the recorded Zoom video.
Madam Vice Chair, at this point in time, there's nothing to report. We are going to pursue multiple quotes. We have another potential provider, and ultimately this would be an FY24 budget item. So we shall get you the 2 quotes prior to us even formulating a FY25 budget.
Thank you. When did you roughly say you would be able to get that over to the council?
Hopefully for the next meeting, so we ask you to just continue with 30 days.
Great, thank you. To the clerk, if we can also continue this item for the next Finance Committee meeting. Thank you, sir. Next item is Council President Marino. You have one item on there.
Thank you, Council Vice President. This was continued from last month. I'm just looking for an update from the administration on the current remaining funds available on grants that have been received by the city versus the total amount of grant funds awarded.
Through the Vice Chair to the Council President, if I can give you an overview of the grants that are currently in operation right now. The city has approximately 55 million, which includes unused or uncommitted ARPA funds that are outstanding amount of 5.9 million yet to be committed. The city has multiple multi-year grants. If I can just use them as an example, the $3.6 million, or I should say $3.7 million SAFER grant, which runs for 5 years. So for this overview, the SAFER grant, which like I said, runs 5 years, is fully committed to staffing. With the exception of a grant that I'm meeting with the police department that was just awarded last week for approximately $500,000, which I'm calling uncommitted right now because I don't know what the use is. The only available balance that I can report right now that's not used for a specific purpose would be the SAFER grant in the amount of $5.9 million.
Is that it? Okay. I'm going to continue this to next month. That's not all that's available. So there needs to be a deeper dive. For example, we received federal funding relative to the pool. You know, where does that currently stand? And there has to be additional funding that the city has likely received It's not restricted to just police and fire. And actually, I believe we had a discussion, and it's okay if you don't recall, after I put this on the agenda, that I'm less concerned about the safer grants because I'm pretty well aware of how those function, and less concerned about the individual grants that the police department has received. But I know as a city, we've received other grants, and it would be very beneficial for us as council members to know where that funding stands,
sure.
what we've received, what's available. This way we know if there's a balance, if it's going to be used, and the associated deadlines with those funds. That is the information that is what I know I'm looking for, and I'm sure other council members are as well.
Okay, through the chair to the council vice president. So yes, in my listing, I am carrying, the example you used is the federal earmark in the amount of 750,000 for the pool. I am carrying it as committed to the pool, although we have not drawn the money. So I can alter the report I have in front of me showing committed and available cash in the amount of 750. I just didn't want to be confused as to that. It's specifically earmarked for a purpose. If we don't do the purpose, I'm not aware that we can use it for an additional purpose. But yes, I can get that level of specificity, and I have that, similar to the grant we have for Knightsville. All right.
That's what I mean. There's a big list, I'm sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone have any other questions on this? Okay, thank you, Council President. Moving on with the agenda. See nothing under correspondence or communications, public comment. Is there anyone here on public docketed matters only? And if not, I see none. Tom, is there anyone on Zoom on public docketed items only?
I see no public comment. No, there's nothing.
Right. No public comment on docketed items. On to the next item, new matters before the committee. Nothing under ordinance, resolutions, there's none. The next item is a real estate tax abatement. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, clerk, can you please take the roll?
Council Vice President Vargas.
Yes.
Councilman Ferry.
Yes.
Councilman Wall.
Yes.
Councilman Campiano.
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas. Council President Marino.
Yes.
On to the next item. It is a tangible tax abatements. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Discussion? None. To the clerk, can you please take the roll call?
Council Vice President Vargas.
Yes.
Councilman Ferry.
Yes.
Councilman Wall.
Yes.
Councilman Campiano.
Yes.
Councilman Paplaskas. Council President Marino.
On to the next item. It is tax interest waivers approval. Is there a
Motion to approve. Second.
discussion? None. To the clerk, can you please take the roll call?
Council Vice President Vargas. Councilman Ferry.
Yes.
Councilman Wall.
Yes.
Councilman Campiano.
Yes.
Council Paplaskas. Council President Marino.
Yes.
Thank you. On to the next item. We have tax interest waivers denial. Is there a motion to? approve?
Motion to approve. Second.
Discussion? Hearing none. To the clerk, please take a roll call.
Council Vice President Vargas.
Yes.
Councilman Ferry.
Yes.
Councilman Wall.
Yes.
Councilman Campiano.
Yes.
Council Paplaskas. Council President Marino.
Yes.
Thank you. The next item we have on the agenda, there are two items under Councilman Donegan. We'll hear both this evening, but to the clerk, we're also going to make sure that it also gets added on, it stays on for the next finance committee as well. The first item is audit process. I think we have the auditor with us here this evening. Sir, if you can please state your name.
Good evening. I'm
Have your
Jim
service.
Wilkinson. I'm a partner with Markham LLP. I did bring a brief outline of communication. I'd like to just I brought enough. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for inviting me here tonight. I'm happy to provide you an update on the audit process, how it's progressing. Just a brief overview. Again, my name is Jim Wilkinson. I'm a CPA. I'm a partner with the firm. I am one of the partners in charge of the engagement again this year. Other personnel within our Providence office, Erica Alobri, who is also a partner, is a joint partner on the engagement with me. Bill Sawicki is our engagement quality reviewer. He's located in our New Haven office. And Jared Swanson is continuing again as the senior manager on the job. This is Jared's third year on the job. All four of us are CPAs licensed in the state of Rhode Island. I'd first like to just briefly review professional standards require us to communicate certain matters as the audit progresses. This letter that I've presented tonight is just a preliminary correspondence, outlines what our responsibilities are. It confirms that within our engagement letter, which has been now executed between us and the city, our responsibility is to prepare our audit procedures based on a risk assessment, and at the end of the engagement, render an opinion that render a report that expresses opinions on the financial statement. It does outline that in addition to the basic financial statements, there's certain required supplementary information that will be accompanying those financial statements, management's discussion and analysis, numerous schedules of revenues, expenditures, employment liabilities, pension liabilities, and the like. Those will be covered by our audit procedures and covered with an in relation to report. In addition, when we render our reports on the single audit, the compliance audit, we will be auditing the schedule of expenditures of federal awards. While that report is typically issued after the financial statement audit, auditing that statement, the schedule of federal awards is required as part of the financial statement audit. So we'll be looking to reconcile that as soon as it's in format to be reconciled with the underlying accounting records. Again, as I mentioned, our audit procedures are based on a risk assessment and selective tests. We don't examine every transaction, but we do, again, that assessment to identify transactions that we believe warrant examination. Significant risks are outlined in the middle of the page 2 there. Generally accepted auditing standards require us to consider management's override of internal controls, as well as revenue recognition as significant risks by their nature. So accordingly, we've considered those as significant risks. In addition, we've also identified the following items: implementation of 2 new accounting standards, which are applicable to the city this year. One on subscription-based information technology arrangements, similar to the leasing standard that was implemented last year. The obligation for these long-term subscriptions is now required to be accounted for within the financial statements. And there's also a new standard on public-private partnerships, which based on our planning, we don't believe will have a major impact on the city, but it will be reviewed during the conduct of the engagement. The other risk is the accuracy relating to management's preparation of the schedule of expenditure of federal awards. That's been a finding in the past couple of audits, so we're concerned to make sure that that schedule does agree to the underlying financial statement. As of right now, we have provided information requests to both the city and the school department. Our field work at the school department is largely complete, and the city is in the process of providing information so that procedures in City Hall on city operations can be commenced shortly. Within our overall risk assessment, again, we'll be looking at entity level internal controls, the documentation of control processes, and the extent that documented controls have been followed. Revenue receivables, we do look at revenue recognition from both a property tax perspective, the assessment that's assessed during the year, how much of that's collected and deemed as revenue. We also look at revenue recognition from grants and other programs. Largely, the grants are expenditure driven. You can recognize revenue to the extent you have qualifying expenditures. We do analyze that as far as a revenue recognition perspective. We do look at purchases, expenditures, payroll and related liabilities, pension liabilities, other post-employment benefits are all within the scope of the audit. We do audit the city's presentation of capital assets, long-term debt, which now also includes leases, which were implemented last year, as well as the new subscription-based IT arrangements. As mentioned, the federal program compliance audit will be conducted, largely issued after the financial statement audit, but planning and then some of those tests are conducted between now and December 31st. And we also look at information technology and cybersecurity as far as internal controls and the robustness of those systems. Other areas that will go into the financial statements, some of these are the external parties, but certainly the management discussion analysis is prepared by management. We do look at contingencies. We do circulate letters to city attorneys regarding legal matters and contingencies. And there are also external reports on pension liabilities and OPEB liabilities, which do come within the scope of the engagement. So, based on that, we have resources scheduled now to conduct the balance of the work on the city side, as we also finished review of the school audit procedures that have been completed. And periodically, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll come up with a cadence for future updates. We can share that with the committee as we also share that with management as we work through our procedure. At this point, I'd ask if there's anything that keeps the finance committee up at night that we should be concerned about in the audit process. Any specific concerns that the committee has with the audit process?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. So you're in the building already conducting the audits?
We've been working across the way at the school department. Work here is scheduled to start immediately. I mean, we're exchanging information now that provides us to complete our planning and begin the field work here.
Okay, thank you. Just to make sure you are the same company, the same audit company that we, that audited, that processed the audit last year,
This
correct?
is our third year of the
This is
three-year
our third
contract.
year of a 3-year contract,
Correct.
right? Okay. Is it based on some of the recommendations or finding, and maybe this is a question that I can ask later on towards like the end of December when the audit is actually completed and presented to us, is some of the recommendations that were provided at last audit's process. Are you looking whether or not those recommendations have also been taken into consideration during this current, the past?
Yes, they're
year?
built into our planning process.
well.
I mean, certainly there was a finding regarding the scheduled expenditures of awards last year, reconciling that to the underlying financial records. That's one of the risks that we look at, and again, look to tackle those items early in the process.
Okay, do you anticipate having the audit this year, by the end of the year?
Right now, we have the resources in place to get that done, barring unforeseen circumstances, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I would appreciate definitely if you're able to provide us with updates. Even if it's an email or if the finance chair or the council president or whomever decides to obviously request an update sooner than that. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page and making sure that we're well versed of any communication, if there's any delays or not, because correct me if I'm wrong, I think that if we go past the December date, we have to request a authorization through the state auditor
The Auditor General.
general, correct? Okay.
During this meeting of the presentation tonight is about a month earlier than it was last year, which.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
we're
Thank
good
you.
footing.
Any other questions from the council? Yes, Councilman LaFerre.
Yeah, just a general question. Does the audit process, dig into the opera funds that were allocated to the city and making sure that they're being distributed when they're supposed to be distributed and spent when they're supposed to be spent, so we don't lose them? Does that get covered in the audit process?
Yes, those ARPA funds are definitely part of the single audit, the compliance audit. And there's pretty stringent requirements on getting those committed and reporting those periodically to the federal government. And the allowability of those expenditures, how they've been expended. That was certainly part of last year's audit, the use of those funds, and we're anticipating that will be again within the scope. Pretty significant set of transactions to
Thank you.
get comfort of.
Does anybody have any other questions? No? If our auditor is, Toss, I don't know if he has any questions or we're good for the evening? Okay, I assume he does not. I think he might be good. I'm sure we'll hear from him if he had any questions. All right. Well, thank you so much for the update. We'll be.
Thank you. And again, as we work with city administration, we'll keep you posted.
Thank you. And as I.
Thanks. Sure. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, this is also under Councilman Donegan's communication. It is a school construction update and potential additional bonding. we have the school and we have Tom here. Mr. Collins, good evening. How are you? Made it right on time.
good, thank you.
All right. Um, Just your name and address for the record.
Ed Collins, Director of Facilities and Capital Improvements with Cranston Public Schools.
Yeah, if you could give us some update, that would be greatly appreciated. Oh. And for the auditor? Oh, if the auditor can still hear us while he's outside? Oh, all right. Sorry, Mr.
good?
Collins.
No
Gavel's
problem.
all yours.
So, right now, the school department has our legal counsel looking at the language and the draft of the bond that Mr. Sedelis brought, sent over to us. We want to make sure that we avoid the, I guess, the issues we had in the last bond language with the PAYGO. So they're reviewing that now, and I'm hoping that by the end of this week, we have something to share back with the city on that. We're also in the process of putting together, a proposal for the architect to finish stage 2, which is due in February. So there's a bunch of moving pieces in that. So, but we've kind of been already off and running. And some of the pieces were already sitting there. We already had someone with a fair design already ready to go for East Boiler and everything. So some of it's done. Some of it doesn't need to be done, like Eden Park and Gladstone, and some of it needs to be done now. We're moving forward with all that.
Thank you, sir. Council members who have any questions at all for Mr. Collins or on this matter? Council President.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Collins, for coming again, giving us
No problem. Never
an
know.
update. And I just want to make sure that there's no ambiguity as to where it currently stands with respect to the potential for a bond referendum and in the process. So if I understand it correctly, the school department is reviewing the bond language that's been proposed by the administration. Is that correct?
We are, along with our legal counsel, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
right. So when that occur, you expect maybe by the end of the week, you'll have an
We're-
answer?
We're hoping for that, yes.
Okay. And then when that happens, you'll communicate that to the administration, I take it?
We'll forward that back to the administration, then it's in the administration's hands on how that goes about approval, whether it be through this body, city council,
Yep.
and then gets ready for the ballot.
Okay, yep. Director Moretti, you'll agree, once the school department gets you that information, then you will let me know so that then we can schedule a special council meeting if necessary, because the matter will then have to be referred to the finance committee, and if approved, then be voted on before the full council by year's end, so that we could then forward it to the General Assembly in time, correct?
Yes, we're all saying the same thing, and that's our targets as well.
Okay, great. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? All right, Mr. Collins, thank you.
No, you're welcome. Thank you.
Of you. All right, next item, Councilwoman Renzulli, you have status of open grant application.
Before that, may I ask the administration a question regarding the bond issue still? It's the
sure.
administration, it's not, it's,
Okay.
well, I think both say they want. I just was curious of what number we actually came up with. I don't know if I missed that at another meeting. I know it could be up to 200 million, and that we're gonna look into how much we were already bonded out for, what was falling off. I don't know that we got an update on that, so I'm just curious if we could have that now.
Through the chair to the councilor, the number that we're working with, in which we propose in the form of a loan order or a loan authorization, is in the amount of $40 million.
And I don't know if this question has to go to Mr. Collins. What exactly will that cover?
So, I'm sorry. So in a meeting with representatives from City Hall, it was decided that we would have 14 million go back into Eden Park to finish that project. We would carry over 6 million to put towards Gladstone. And then they also wanted to include the following projects: the repaving and the redesign of the parking lot at West, the replace of all the boilers at Cranston East. And we have 6 elementary schools that we're gonna look at doing flooring replacement for. So the numbers we gave are approximate numbers. We really need to dial in some real estimates at, but
I mean, we came up with a roundabout number of about 30. Oh, and plus 10 to $12 million for the charter school. All right, sorry about that, I forgot about that. So those numbers add up to about 34, 36 million. Then you have to put in soft costs, so we're right around the $40 million mark, and that's kind of where we sit right now. But again, the numbers we gave are preliminary, and once we get through stage 2, we'll be able to sit there and really have a definite idea, other than Eden Park and Garden, Gladstone, of what the project's gonna cost.
Because my concern is what happens if, numbers go up, we go out of that $40 million range and we can only do the $40 million and then we're back in a similar situation, but no longer able to get the 75%.
I don't want to speak for the city, but my interpretation of the meeting was Eden Park and Gladstone need to be done. And then the other projects were thrown in there. I'm pretty comfortable about the numbers we sent there, but if that does happen, we'd have to sit back down with the city and revisit what projects stay and what projects go. Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. I appreciate it.
Can I just throw one last thing in here? I just want to
Yeah.
make sure. When we go and apply for stage 2, we're going to ask for an approval of 50 million. That's not saying we're expecting 50 million out of the city. We're looking for 40, but we don't want to dial into that exact number. If for some reason Mr. Balducci comes up with extra money and when we can pay for things on the school side, we want to make sure we have the approval for that. The last thing we want to do is tie ourselves to a specific number. So again, even though stage 2 might say 50 million, that is not because we're expecting 50 out of the city. We want a cushion in case something happens, extra funds become available through whatever or through the school side, those projects are covered.
Excellent, thank you. And to Mr. Zaidelis, I don't know if this is appropriate to ask now or not, but I did ask at the other finance committee meeting when you came up with these numbers, if there was any way to determine how this was gonna affect any taxpayers.
Through the chair to the counselor, the way we approach this, if I may, is not only are we anticipating the 40 million that I just referenced, but we're also calculating in their estimates that we're going to have on the city side for capital expenses. Over a 4-year, over a 5-year period on the city side, we expect or anticipate spending 32 million of additional capital improvements, most of which were outlined in the most recent capital plan. So in addition to the $40 million which we are anticipating to put into new capital programs for the schools, the projects that Mr. Collins mentioned, we're anticipating $32 million for city side capital improvements. Those two expenditures of funds, coupled with the retirement of debt that we already have on the books, and assuming a 74% reimbursement rate, we expect to see a couple of bumps in additional taxes, exclusive of all other costs associated with it, whether it be cost of living adjustments for our employees, benefits, but we expect to see, the high end is in FY 27, just the additional debt service that I just spoke to is a 1%, a little over 1% tax increase for that fiscal year. Then it will taper down in subsequent years, but the high ebb on a tax increase with the way we're going to structure the debt will be an automatic, 1.1% tax increase, excluding any other cost drivers in the city budget.
Excellent. That answers my question. Thank you very much.
And on that very same note, actually, sorry, Mr. Collins.
No, that's
I thought you were
fine.
gonna have an easy way out and I apologize.
It's never nothing easy. That's why I'm here.
You just mentioned if there was additional dollars, it would be other areas where you would actually put them to use. I think you mentioned West, driveway, parking
Well,
lot.
that's part of the original 40. what we would do is we would ask for approval for 50. We would come up with some other projects in the district that are not really part of the scheme right now. But again, if the school department came up with CIP money or something, we'd have a blanket there to cover it. If we don't ask for that, we'd have to go back and reapply for another one. We don't want to do that. There's no commitment, once we ask for the approval of 50, that we're gonna do 50 in the projects.
Yeah.
The real goal is for the 40. I just don't want to go for 40 and then Mr. Valducci come up and says, hey, we have $1 million in CIP, and then we can't have it reimbursable because we never asked for extra coverage.
Okay. I can reach out to you at a later time. You probably also got some emails, or at least one that I am familiar with, where there was a parent that was kind of bothered by the fact that there was projects at Parkview that were deferred over because of, you know, the cost in construction, and it rose like at least 40%.
Yes.
If we were to go out for bonding, whether it's 50 or 60 million or so, the idea there is that we would actually take some of the projects that we deferred, like the ones at Parkview, just to name that one as one.
Long list.
And bring,
yes.
and it's a very, very long list.
Yep.
But you had mentioned like West, for example, there was like the lot, you said the drive, there was,
That's part of
that
the
was the 40
initial,
million.
that's part of the 40. That's the worst parking lot we have. The traffic there is horrendous. So a
Yeah.
big portion of that is doing a traffic study, doing a redesign, and that thing needs to be ripped up and replaced. Yep, absolutely.
And I don't want to get into, you know, which project is a priority, and I know that one's part of the 40, of which initially Parkview was
Yep.
kind of part of that as well. And then because of the rows of, you know, just inflation, it was
Yes.
deferred, but I know that I'd get a call, or I can copy the constituent and send you an email, but I'm just kind of curious.
Had a phone conversation with him already.
Okay, because there are, the argument here for all those that know is, for example, West, getting the parking lot, and I know the traffic study and everything else is there, but if you compare that with, for example, the HVAC at Parkview, that is needed there, and put that on hold versus a parking lot, it's almost like, you know, it's a balance, and I get it, everybody needs something and it's all different. But I can follow up in an email with you just to explain that. But if we were to go for bond, if the bonding that we're trying to go for would cover the deferred projects, and at that point, the priority is made up by who then do we have to go through
All right,
another
so
set of?
First, you or anybody on this board can reach out to me at any time.
Appreciate that, thank you.
The issue is I don't, other than, you know, Garden City and Eden Park and what's soon to be Gladstone, there's not a building or a facility you can walk into and say, why isn't this done? So yeah, there's a bunch of priorities. If there was extra money that came up, it's never my decision solely, or really the school department. It's a discussion between both buildings as to, okay, this is kind of what's available. This is what we're thinking. So it'd be more collaboration between the building next door and this body. And obviously the finance committee plays a big role in that. If we were gonna do other projects and everything and seek reimbursement, even if it's with school money, I'm gonna be standing in front of you saying, okay, this is what we're thinking. And that would be the time to say, what else is what else do you have? Can we move this? Can we move that? What about this? But, it's a long list. Yeah.
I'm sure it's an ever-growing list as well,
it is.
so thank
Yes.
you so much. Councilwoman Renzulli?
Can I ask one more thing to Mr. Collins?
Yeah.
This is just a curiosity question, because I have received several calls about this, so since you're here, I'll just ask you now. I'm sure Western Hills is on your list of lots of deficiencies there. What would a new Western Hills cost?
130 million.
Thank you.
Good, all right. Thank you, Mr. Collins, have a great evening. All right. All right, we're gonna move on. Councilwoman Renzulli, you still have the floor. Status of open grant applications?
Yes,
last
thank you. This
item.
is just through the vice chair to the administration. I'm just wondering about the applications that we've put in but have not heard back from, how many there are, what they are, when do we expect to hear? I'm sure that's got to be more than, I know one off the top of my head, so I'm just imagining there has to be other ones. And I can try to talk to the grant writer as well, but I'm not sure if finance has that.
Through the chair to the counselor, there are currently 3 grants currently in play or that have been applied for, totaling almost 9.2 million. One is a state grant, the Learn 365, which we've, discussed previously. There are 2 other congressional funding earmarks. One for a K-9 vehicle of 300, or vehicles plural, 334,000, and then an infrastructure grant for approximately $1.9 million. So collectively, the 3 outstanding grant applications total 9.2 million.
Okay, and by the Learn 365, do you mean the community, building of a community center one? Is that what you're talking about?
Through the chair to the counselor, that's correct.
Okay, and do you have any idea when we're supposed to hear back to the app if we won these awards or no?
The 2 federal grants are subject to it being appropriated on a congressional level. I don't know when that's going to happen in light of the budget process, but I'd assume it would be when the federal budget gets, instead of just rolling over the continuing appropriation, once they have an appropriation for next fiscal year, will be given notice of the awards.
And what about, do you know about the state one, the community center one? When we're supposed to hear, and because I know that my questions surrounding that are like, I read about it in the newspaper, and when different cities drop out, the number keeps going up, and I'm just curious about it.
Through the chair to the counselor, our application is before the state, and we're awaiting their award, or if they have any questions with our application.
Okay, so we have no idea, they don't give a date range.
Okay, through the chair, I think will be soon, but I do not know the exact date.
Okay, when that does, can I keep this on the finance agenda, or just keep it on add it to the council agenda as my communication, just so that when it comes up, we remember to talk about it? If that's
Yeah, would
okay.
you like to add in on both
Yes,
finance
yes,
and the city
please.
council?
Yes, just to have, so it's, we stay abreast of the situation. Thank you.
Yeah, through the clerk, if we can make sure that's added to the November city council agenda, and then the finance, and then let's make sure that the chair of the finance committee also is well aware that this is staying on for the next months.
I'm sorry, does this continue to December finance?
For the December, but I believe Councilwoman Renzulli also wants to add this under the city council November meeting under council communication. Did I hear that all right?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Ferry.
Director Zaidelis, can I just ask you one quick question? You mentioned one of the grants was 1.9 million. What, can you tell us what that's for?
Through the chair to the counselor, it's an earmark for the Knightsville project, on a phase of the Knightsville.
Thank you.
Any further discussion, question on this matter? No? All right. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor,
Second.
say aye.
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 All right, ayes have it. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.
And happy birthday, Councilman Poplawskis. There's
Happy
cake if you want it.
birthday.